You noticed there's been an uptick in the number of biopics being made. Movies about, um, I mean, it's essentially a biopic doesn't necessarily have to be about a person's life. It could be about the history of a company, like the WeWork movie, or or the House of Gucci. The biopic can also be about a company or an event or a war or something.
Yeah,
Now, have you noticed how there's been an increase in the number of these types of movies and horror movies? You don't really get romantic comedies anymore.
that's absolutely right. And I feel like it's good and bad because, like, in those also like the movies that you described, I think biopic, they also depict some certain romance in it because always like it gets personal, like in the movies as well of how certain like companies made it
Because
like
you know, romance is a classic component of most stories.
exactly. So like you can still get that combination of a rom-com inside of like a biopic, which I love, like the combination of like maybe not movies, but like Netflix, I think is taking a lot of advantage from these type of movies. Uh, I don't know, like companies like Spotify, for instance, they made like a TV show about it. I can think of also like the kind of sports that they actually like developed for Formula One and like tennis and they go into each sport to make like a spin-off of like a TV show about them. Also, I can think of what else. Um, the creation of Uber as well. Like they made a movie out of it, like how the person
That's
like
correct. That's correct.
made Uber Facebook as well, like, and how it started. So I think like that part you cannot really take it out from how like those companies were created, and I feel like it's a very uh, it's a teaching moment also for me. I love them. Like it shows you a certain like validity of how these companies like were made in a sense. And if like the fear is to miss rom-coms, I believe that those movies depict romance in a more realistic way than what rom-coms do in a certain way.
For
Uh,
me, I miss them. I miss them.
oh,
Yeah, like
okay,
because I grew up on movies like She's All That
okay.
and films like uh, I think it was called How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Oh yeah, Matthew
These
McConaughey.
movies, I grew up on these
Yeah.
movies. I loved every minute of them.
I love them, but at the same time, I don't miss them because sometimes they actually overshadow what romance is really all about. I believe like the biopics do certainly like a good job in depicting how reality works of like involving like romance in a sense in a realistic way. That is. I don't know if like my point is clear about that.
I understand. You mean like in context?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.